There we go.
Oh, there she got it.
Hi, Shay.
Is it on?
Yes, it
I only
is.
see myself. Like
Well,
I see.
go to
That's
another
okay.
screen. Go to another screen, and you'll see the rest of us. Slide it to
Another
one side.
another screen.
Slide it to one side or the other.
Oh,
Yeah.
there. Yay! Hi, everyone.
Great, great. Ruth
Ruth
Ann.
Ann.
Ruth Ann, it started me in this whole writing journey. I kid you not. We sat in the library and she helped me figure out how to start writing.
Very cool.
She
Hi.
really. Hi, Ruth Ann. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad you're here. Glad we're here.
Glad to be
Hey,
here.
there's Ruth Ann.
Hi, Jen.
Yeah. Jen. Hi, Jen. Oh,
How are
glad
you?
you're here. Hi, Sarah.
Okay.
Well, Sarah, I finally wrote a review on Amazon for the book. I finished it. I really enjoyed it. And you'll see the reviews under M. Gendron. That's my daughter's name because Amazon won't let me review because I don't shop enough.
Oh my gosh.
Should I go somewhere else?
So I use my daughter's
Okay.
account to do the reviews.
Well, thank you.
So that's me. M. Gendron is me.
So you have to
Hi.
shop enough
We're
on
gonna
Amazon?
move over to a rest.
Amy's here.
Congratulations, birthday girl. Book birthday.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, me. Oh, thank you. I'm feeling good. I just got my hair done. So.
Yes.
I'm talking to Joan.
Oh, you're talking to Joan.
I'm celebrating with you.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday. Ooh, lucky you. I'm in a store. I'm in Lowe's buying cabinets.
Hey, as long as they got Wi-Fi, right, Shay?
They do. They did. I didn't have to leave because it's taking us all this time.
Oh, great. Great. Okay. Wow, all my friends are here.
Mary, I haven't seen you in a long time. We used to be on calls together back in the day.
I remember hearing about you, Shay.
Oh, Ruth Ann.
You're the
Is that good or
horseback
bad?
lady. You drive.
Somebody's cut off here. Oh, here we go. Oh, look
Your
at there's all kinds
horses.
of people. Yeah, hi.
I should quit introducing everybody and let Kat do her thing.
If
Sorry,
you
Kat.
you want to give a few more minutes or you want to start?
I don't care. It's up to you.
Is there wait, can I ask a question? Is there a way to get everybody in here? Do I go?
On the phone.
On your phone?
Yeah.
Yes. Usually there's one page in which you can see everyone.
Yeah, so see,
There
keep
might be
sliding
two
over.
if you
But
swipe again.
or you can tap the upper right corner and see if you get a view, like 9 little squares in a box, and then you can change the view. That's the other
It
technical
might help
thing.
if you do it horizontal too, so that it can put more people.
Oh, let's try that. Oh, I still only I have 8. I have 8. Oh, there's
Well,
everyone.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that might be what it can hold. I'm not sure.
Great.
Okay.
More people. Yay.
Wow. My friend Sandy is here too. And Mary, she's one of the book coaches that helped me so much with the memoir. And Christy's helped me with the opening. Hi, Christy. I'm glad you're here.
Takes a village to raise a book.
Yeah.
So true.
Oh, there.
And one to lift mine, right?
I'm going to keep my mute because I have 2 dogs here.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Hey,
Thanks for saying hi,
here.
Christy.
I did check my email. Okay.
Oh, do you want to show everyone the book first? You took a picture of all your book.
Oh, yes, I did. Okay, so I've got to go quickly to settings and there. And so the book, and these are the prizes. If you stay long enough, we're going to be giving away a gift, a book, and a physical book, an ebook, and then this package. There's a bag there, and a little notebook, and a door hanger that says, "My life, my story, currently under construction. No visitors on the building site." and then a bookmark. So
today is the official book birthday. And we are here to celebrate Deborah. So we're gonna start by congratulating you, Deborah. You've done an amazing job, accomplished an amazing feat to finish a book. You started, you worked on it, you finished it, it's now published, and it's so cool. And I'm so excited for you. And I know everyone is very excited for you. So
Yeah.
I am going to just sort of organize a bit. I'm Kat, but we are going to have a little bit of a reading from Deborah, and we are going to have some questions. And if you guys want to ask questions of Deborah as well, you can do that. We are recording it. So if you want to be on, we would love to see your beautiful faces. If you prefer not to be recorded with your face, you can turn your video off. And as Deborah reads, I just ask that everyone mute, because you never know when the dog will start barking or the kid will ask for water or whatever might happen, right? So she's going to be reading a little bit of her wonderful book. So if you are ready, Deborah, would you like to start?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Dance While the Fire Burns. Family, Identity, and Dreams, a memoir. Chapter 1, The Call, 1995. The August sun beats down on my back as I drag my feet across the limestone gravel drive to the barn. Cracks zigzag across the pasture. Patches of thirsty brown blades, like me, plead for relief. I catch sight of our horses deep in the woods, with heads lowered and tails swishing, grazing on grass still green in the shade. 1,000 miles away, my brother Chuck lies in a bed at the Sarah House in Santa Barbara, where I moved him from the Van Nuys Hospital 3 weeks ago. Before flying home, I hung my Impressionist cafe scene, a lithograph he'd always wanted, above his Kachina collection in his room. A sweet aroma from the community garden outside his door comforts him, like the scent of roses he once tended at a home he no longer owns. We both have red hair and brown eyes like Mom. People often mistake us for twins, even though he is 4 years older than I am. Our family moved nearly every year when we were kids, leaving me lost in an endless stream of strangers, changed routines, and unfamiliar surroundings. When my loneliness became unbearable and our oldest brother Mike was off with his friends, Chuck spent time with me and my stuffed animals. Now he needs me. I slide open a heavy door to the old slump-backed barn, then pull a bale of hay from an unstable stack of 40-pound bales.
To register?
The best my husband Greg and I could find when we arrived in the Midwest 6 months ago.
Yeah,
I can get the Zoom link for you, maybe.
I lift the misshapen bale by its loose strings, praying it holds together. But just outside the door in the pasture, the hay breaks out of its two-twine confinement, and the flakes fall to the ground. I wish I could fall apart too. I pick up 4 flakes from the hay I dropped and carry them to the flat area south of the barn, adjacent to the old growth forest. I shake one flake into a loose pile, then move 6 feet, longer than the body of a horse, to create the next pile. Greg calls out, "Deborah, you have a phone call." I twist in slow motion toward Greg on the porch, his hand bracing the glass storm door, unaware of the flies surely flying past him into our kitchen. I bite back my usual rebuke. What's a few more flies in that mess of a house with half-done renovations and repairs? Greg says softer than before. I think it's time. His words carry over the lawn, down the cement wall, across the Yellowstone lane, to the pasture where I stand clutching flakes of hay to my chest. Shit, I'm not ready. Ducking under the hot wire fence to take a shortcut back to the house, I get zapped for my carelessness and knock the dirt off my broken down Adidas on the concrete blocks that serve as steps, then hang onto the door frame to steady my balance. Inside, I kick off my shoes in the mudroom, leaving me in stocking feet on the vinyl floor someone installed using staples along the edges. The kitchen is how we found it 8 months ago. Shelf paper, marred by rips, rubs, and digs, covers plywood countertops. One cabinet not yet attached to the wall rocks when I lean on it. We were crazy to buy this house, but from the first time I stepped inside, I knew this was where I belonged. I see not a shambles, but what it can be. Anyway, it's the best we can afford. I rinse the dirt off my hands and forearms over a sink full of dishes, clean up the splashes with a paper towel, then leave the rest for Greg. He may grumble a bit, but no matter how much I ask of him, he gets it done. I reach for the phone, drop into the nearest chair, and punch in the numbers for the Sarah house. Debbie, the director, answers. You need to come now.
Want to finish?
That's it. Thank you, everyone.
It's so beautiful, Deborah. I think it's such a beautiful and really necessary, emotional story for you to write and to tell. So I will start out asking you a question, but if anybody wants to ask a question, you can either put it in the chat or you can do the little hand raise thing if you want to, or when we pause, you can unmute. But I want to ask you, when did you know that this story of your brother and of you should become a book?
That's a very clear memory because right after that scene, when I got on a plane to go out to see my brother for the last time, I have to take a shuttle. I take a plane to LA from the Midwest and a shuttle bus up to Santa Barbara. And I end up sitting next to a man and we start talking and I tell him, I'm going to see my brother and I think this is the last time. And I told him I was thinking of writing a story about it. And he explained that he was an author. And we talked a little more and he said, you really need to write this book.
Wow. So that was the one moment. Did you start writing right away?
I did, but I lost that notebook and then kind of held loose at home. So I didn't really get into it seriously until probably around 2008. And then I've been pretty committed to it since then.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is the significance of the title for your book?
It kind of has a double meaning. Firstly, kind of a metaphor for the way that I was raised because we moved so much and we never knew when the shit was going to hit the fan. And so we danced a lot as a family. And so it was kind of like we danced through our problems. We danced while the fire burned because with my dad, there was always something on fire. And then where it really came to me as the title is towards one of the later scenes. And this is kind of hard for some people to hear, but I love talking about it. There was a big scandal about being cremated in those days that you might get the wrong ashes. And my mother was really freaked about that. So I said, okay, no worries. I will go and I will be there. So I will make sure Chuck goes in, Chuck comes out. So I get Chuck. And while the guy was working, they actually don't come out totally powder. So they have to process them using equipment that I used to make glazes in my ceramics class. It was really, we were talking ceramics people and it was an interesting conversation considering what I was in the middle of. And he says, well, he says, I've got this 8-track system and I'd like to play music. Would you mind? And I went, no, go ahead. So he put on music that was from back in the days when my brother and I used to dance at gay bars or in the house or anywhere. And I was dancing and communing with my brother while the fires in the back room were burning. And that's where I got the title.
That, I mean, I think that's really beautiful. Like the last moments with your brother, you got to dance.
Yeah.
Because nothing takes away the sadness, right? Like nothing takes that away. But sort of to be able to share that, that seems very fateful and beautiful. So we've talked a lot about like memoir, because Deborah and I are in a writing group. I know a couple of you are as well. And so we thought maybe we would talk a little bit about actually writing memoir. Right? So it takes all of us quite a bit of time to get all of our stories together because you're taking like a whole life. So are there any stories or chapters that you almost left out or you had to leave out, or how did that process go of choosing what to put in, what to leave out?
Well, I'm a long writer, and I actually met Jane Friedman early on at a writers conference and told her about moving. And she says, oh, you should do all of your moves and put one chapter per move, right? So I started writing from when I was a kid all the way through. And then I got, more educated and getting classes and all that. And I realized that's too big of a book. So I kind of narrowed it down to basically Chuck and I, and that kind of cut it in half. And then I think I kind of cut it in half again. I chopped off a whole bunch more off the beginning, but had to put some of it back on. So it to me, writing memoir is like breathing. You inhale and you exhale. You take it in and you let it go. So yeah, a lot of breathing.
So there are things that you have to let go. So do you think you had like the whole family at first and then you narrowed it down to you and
Yes.
Chuck?
Yeah. Then they're still all in there because if you leave them out, but really it was focused on each scene had to be about Chuck and me or Greg and me.
Okay.
Because Greg's my, my guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
My
So
guy.
with
Your partner.
with memoir, like you're telling your story and now you're telling Chuck's story as well. So like as we were all emotional about 5 minutes ago, we can tell like it's a very vulnerable form of writing. We can write fiction, but memoir is very close to us. So how did you navigate the like vulnerability part and the emotional part? And I'm sure it was very emotional for you, like remembering everything and writing about it.
I pretty much would put myself into the scene emotionally and just imagine myself there and then just wrote what I was remembering and feeling and seeing. And the emotions of it, I mean, I tend to be out there with my emotions anyway. And I maybe because I moved so much, that was a coping mechanism to learn to talk a lot, because otherwise I'd never have a friend. But I really didn't. There's a few things that I kind of was worried about. The one I had to leave out, I was working with Allison K. Williams, and she says, you got too many animals dying. You got to take out a dog death. We get it. We get it how it's what it's like. So I ended up finding a way to take that out. So not mess up the
there are
story.
some readers that won't read a book. There's too many.
Well, I had 4 dogs, so, but yeah, no, she was very symbolic of my relationship with Greg and the transitions that we were going through as a couple. So I couldn't not have it there.
Yeah.
I saved a lot of animals. I saved my horse. So that was a good scene.
That's a good scene.
And there's lots of funny stuff.
Do you think that memoir, as you're writing it, do you think it changes your view of the past or helps clarify anything of the past, or do you think that it helps you at all?
Definitely. it gave me such insight into my past, and I understood things completely. And I remember some of the early readings with Ruth Ann, and she would get so mad at my dad, and I was like, why are you mad at dad? And she says, you gotta be kidding me. And I started thinking about it and saw my relationship and my father and his experience completely new. So every time I get someone leaving a review, it's like if they say something, it's like, I wonder what part they were talking about there. I want to know. So yeah, it changes a lot, and it does help. It's very cathartic for me.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think people should try their hand at writing memoir?
I think if anybody has a story that they want to share, that they think somebody else might get something out of hearing, I think they should write memoir. And I know a lot of people that are going to fiction. Is that Sandy that needs to get muted here? Here, let's mute Sandy. Somebody's talking in the background there.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, what was the question again?
Do you think everyone should try their hand at memoir?
Yeah, I do. And there's a lot of people that are starting to write it as fiction because it's easier so that you don't hurt anybody's feelings. And that's a tough way to navigate. But I didn't have to worry about that because all my family ended up passing away before I really started writing the book.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So what was the hardest part about writing this book?
The hardest part about writing, I don't know. I find writing very joyful. And I love the learning process of working with other people. So it was way more expensive than I thought it was going to be. I was like, I set my art aside because I thought I can't afford art supplies right now, right? It was that crash in 08. And I thought, oh, writing, I don't need much money for writing. Yeah. Right.
Little do we know.
Wow.
It's like learning a new art form, right? You got to pay your mentors and all the things, all the books. Cassie wants to know what if Greg was ever uncomfortable with being in the book.
That's a great question, Cassie. I think sometimes he's embarrassed because I make him look so good.
Well, that's good. It's a good thing to be embarrassed of. Hey,
but he actually, I will read him scenes or tell him something I'm working on or editing, and I'll say, okay, what do you remember? And he will help clarify my memory because I don't have anybody else to ask. So yeah, he was actually quite helpful. And he's not a big reader, but he is great at catching typos and stuff. So he reads everything that goes out in this house now.
Oh,
I don't know that he's read the whole book, though. I don't know that he's read the whole book. I'm sorry, what?
We need more typo catchers.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's good. He's good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We are going to do a few more questions, and then we'll look. I'll have to stick everyone's name into this wheel of names we're going to have. The world needs more Gregs, Jen says. I agree. I haven't met him, but he sounds amazing. Did you have as you started writing and really getting serious about the book, did you have any writing rituals that you think helped you in starting and finishing this book?
I think the best one was, in order to keep my head in the story, is I would read it at night before I go to sleep.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
And I would actually sometimes dream forward in the book. And I'd wake up with a notepad right there and ready to go. I use dreaming as a real aid for writing. If I take a nap, I wake up, I've got some solutions. It's really great.
Oh, that's a new one. I think that you should tell more people about this. Right,
I've heard
it. Read our writing before we go to bed tonight.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it is a good one.
Does anybody have a question for Deborah? You can raise or unmute. Oh, Joan has one. Does your relationship with horses mirror any of your relationships with people?
Oh, that's a tough question. Horses are so honest in their communications that it is way above and beyond any relationship that you have with a person. I mean, you guys know with your pets, right? And when you lose one, it's almost worse than losing another, like a two-legged family member. And horses are just so magical. There's nothing like when I heard a horse had an abscess and I had to get him to stand in a bucket of warm Epsom salts water. And they don't like standing with their foot in the water, especially when it hurts. So I would stand there and I would breathe with him for half an hour. And that is like, what an experience. You just feel like your spirits are joining. So, no, I can't say that it does mirror anything with anybody. I guess with Greg, because I knew I loved him the minute I met him, and I'm that way with horses. So that's about the only one.
Aren't many people stand in a salt bucket of water with might stand with a horse. Right? What advice would you give anybody who is here today or who might be watching this later if they want to start writing a memoir but don't know where to start?
I would say, and there's a couple of people here. Let's see, Cassie's here. She's in my writing group, my memoir writing group. And that I started my memoir writing group with a little thing I put together, and it's basically who, what, where, when, and why, except you start with the why and put how at the end. So if you have a story in mind, but you don't know how to put it together, you start with, why do you want to write the story? And then you just go through, okay, so who's in the scenes, where does it take place? Just all the basics from newspaper writing works great for starting a story or a full-size book.
So if people feel like they're not a writer, right? What would you say that as you put the scenes down or put who, what, where, when, do you then even go on to, because you have lovely images in your writing, you really bring us right there. So is that a product of the final product, or would you like, if somebody says I can't write like that, Deborah, what would you tell them? At what process does that actually come? Do you start that beautifully?
I have been working on that from the very beginning with Ruth Ann, all the way through to all of the conferences, all the teachers that I worked with. I've had some amazing mentors, amazing fellow writers, critique groups. Judy and I were critique partners. Victoria and I worked together a lot. She's another memoirist. Let me see who else is here. I mean, people have done critiques for me or, given me reviews. And I've learned from everyone. And they have pointed out what I did right and what they wanted more of and what, those garbage words that I could leave out.
Yeah.
And
so it's something you can learn. You can.
I think so, definitely. But you also kind of have to see the world, kind of through the eyes of an artist. I think anybody can, if you know how to look at a sunrise and enjoy it and get something out of that. Then the other way is to write poetry. Take a poetry class. Well, that'll teach you.
That's probably good advice for all of us writers. Yes. Victoria says in your memoir, you talk about a therapy you use with your horses. How did you decide to learn this? And was it because you rescued the horses?
I learned that therapy because I got on my horse when the dogs were out and he started fussing and they went after his heels and he started bucking. I ended up flown in a helicopter to the hospital with let's see, broken ribs, concussion, and my pelvis fractured in the front and the back. And the story's in the book. And so as a result of that and wanting to get back to work with my horses, and I had My other friend who's not here, but wanted to be here, Dion is also in the book. She was a massage therapist and she started doing this therapy that gave me relief from a horse accident I had when I was 17, which is also in the book. So it's like all of that kind came together and I was getting the therapy for me. And then I was starting to apply it to my horses while I was doing it. And then I went through the training to do it for people and horses. And it just evolved out of my curiosity and my desire to not have my horse in pain.
Yeah, yeah, because you love them. Cassie wants to say something, so I'll mute and guess.
Okay. I just wanted to say something from the perspective of being in her in Deborah's group. I got to know Deborah because she's my writing coach, my mentor. That's how I got to know her. And when someone, I think Kat was asking her, how do you tell people how to keep them motivated, or I forget the exact question, but anyway, Deborah is so good at keeping us real true to ourselves and real authentic to who we are, and keeps bringing us back around to being honest and being truly authentic in how we're communicating. And that is repeated time and time again with her. So it's really a pleasure learning from her and having her be a writer's coach, my writer's coach. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you, Cassie.
That's very cool. When did you decide to become a coach, Deborah?
I became a coach when they were going to kick us out of the community. We didn't become a coach. And I decided in my head that I was just going to do it for my own writing so that I had all that information and I can keep making my writing better. But then I got through it and I found how much I loved working with other writers as a coach. So again, it just evolved.
That's very cool. I'm putting everyone's names into this little wheel. I'm trying to
She's got this cool wheel.
Do you want to show them again what you are?
Sure.
Do you want to give away the big one first? Do you want to give away the ebook first?
I don't care. I guess let's give away the signed hard copy of print.
I'm not going to add Frank to the list, right? Because is Frank online? Is that or no?
Frank is Frank is the pastor where I'm having my opening. And
we definitely have to add Frank. I was getting confused with Greg.
No, he's a different guy. No, but he's a horseman, and so he's going to be talking at the event about the horses. So, So, okay, I can do this pretty quick. Here it is. Okay, so you guys should. I'll move over here.
I think and if you guys do you all know that this is all her artwork? Like, she designed her own book cover, which Amy made mention of it in the comments too. Like, it's so much work that Deborah has put into this because she put all her art in there. It's such an accomplishment. It's so cool. And it's beautiful. So if somebody hasn't seen them print yet, can you tell us a little bit about the art that you put into the print?
You mean inside the book?
Mm-hmm.
They are black and white versions of paintings, my new series of watercolors from my horses. And I put them like on title pages at the beginning and then through part 1, 2, and 3. And so it just made it a little bit more me to have pictures of my horses in there that I had created from my watercolors. And then there's a couple of small watercolors that I made, these like leaping, running horses. And I got, by accident, I made the little emojis out of them. And then so I thought, oh, I wonder how they'd look on either side of the page. And so I put them in there, and
nice.
They're kind of fun. And I got a compliment from Allison on that. I haven't heard from anybody else what they think of that.
Very cool. Yeah, so if you guys want to see the art, it's in the print and ebooks.
You got to go to the print version, or ask me for a PDF and I'll send it to you.
One thing, there was another question. I'm sorry, I've lost it. Just a second. Oh, Joan wants to ask, what did you think memoir was when you began so many moons ago? And now what do you know that you didn't know? No, now that you didn't.
Good question. Good question.
Did it
When I
change?
was going on to the conferences early on, nobody knew where memoir belonged. It's like, well, it's fiction, but it's nonfiction. It's fiction, it's nonfiction. And we ended up kind of off to the side by ourselves. And it has grown so much since then that it's a lot of clarity. But the biggest compliment that I've gotten from people is that it reads like a novel, because that was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to use the techniques of writing fiction just to make it all true.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what memoir is.
Yeah, very cool. Should we I'll share
Do the
my
drawing.
screen and we'll do the drawing.
Mary's here too. Mary, she's one of the coaches that I work with too. She's a great memoir coach. There's lots of great coaches here.
That's it.
Thank you.
All right, ready? Oh, let's see. This is what we did with. All right, so everyone's name is in here. We're doing the ebook first or the big?
No, the print book. We're going to do the print book
book.
first.
All right, all right. As my internet slows, of course it does. So that the big gives us even more.
Sarah, that's great, Sarah. Sarah is Ruth Ann's daughter, and she's been really involved in my life ever since I met Ruth Ann. She's fabulous.
Fine, that's awesome.
Getting a signed copy, Sarah.
Woohoo! Yay!
Okay.
Do you want to tell people what you're doing next week? Because the party doesn't stop here.
Nope, it doesn't. If you want to come to Rockford, Illinois, to Emmanuel Lutheran Church.
I'm from there. You guys all need to go to Rockford, Illinois.
You gotta come. You gotta come. It's like 20 miles from me, but I met Ruth Ann and became part of that arts community that is a big part of that church. They have a full professional gallery. And so I started helping put on shows and all that. And that community supported me so much through all of the stuff that I was going through with losing family and all of that. And so I decided that's the best place. Well, actually, she's not here, but Susan is also in my group and she kind of runs that committee. And she said, hey, we got an opening. You want to do something? And I went, okay. So I'm doing the one-person show. All my work that was taking place while I was writing the earlier parts of the book are kind of the middle, right around the time I met Greg. And then the new series of horses that talks about the horses like from there on. And then we're going to have some great speakers. We're having a gentleman from the Rockford Area Arts Council, and he's going to talk about community arts because I think it's so important. And I've been very involved in community arts. I ran an art gallery for a number of years. And then I'm going to have Christine Swanberg, who's the first formal poet laureate of the Rockford area. And she was my poetry teacher. And so she's going to bring some of her horse poems because she's had horses. And then my very good friend, Catherine, I met her at a writer's conference and we've been close friends ever since. And she was very, very involved in the final editing of the book. And she's going to be reading something that she's not telling me what it is. It's a recent thing. So that'll be fun. I'll do some readings. And then in the third half hour, Frank's going to come and talk about endurance riding and his connection with his horse. And I'll talk about some horses stuff too. So the third hour will be about horses.
I think that's a beautiful mesh of all of your loves all together. I think that's so cool. I wish I was close by. I'll have to send some people there.
I'm videotaping it. It'll be on YouTube.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
It's like this.
Very cool. So what do you hope readers take away from your book, Deborah, as it expands out to people you'll probably never meet in your life? As they read the book, what are you hoping that they'll take away?
I hope that they realize that they can get through just about anything and that they don't have to let go of their dreams just because a lot of bad stuff happens. And that if they just hang in there and keep problem solving, they'll find a way to live the authentic life that they want to live.
That is beautiful. Is there something in the story that you were most nervous for people to read?
Oh, I don't know. I screw up so much throughout the whole book. You really get to know me. Love me or leave me. Let's see. I was just nervous about them reading it and the writing being good enough to tell the story. I was worried the writing would get in the way of them being able to hear the story. That was my biggest concern. That's why I kept not publishing it and not publishing it and not publishing it.
But I think you did such a great job of reaching out and finding mentors and friends, right? Like we really shouldn't be doing it all by ourselves, right? We need writing critique groups and partnerships and people to let us know, right? We always need to know how the reader sees the story. So I think you've done exactly what we should all do.
Oh, so can I say something else?
Of course,
Shay
this is your party.
is sitting in front of one of my hearts that I made in the book in graduate school. Oh, no, in undergraduate school. I brought that from Fort Wayne to when I went to graduate school in LA. And yeah, she could see it. And so she's got one of my hearts. I think you might have two, right, Shay? I think you have two. I made 13 of those. They're pretty freaking big. They're like 29, 30 inches tall. Yeah. So thank you for showing that, Shay.
That's amazing. So how are you feeling now, Deborah, that your book is officially out in the public?
Ready to start working on the next one. Although I want to do an audiobook, so I think I'll probably do that first. But I'm really ready to dig into my horse book, which is going to have the images in it that are going to be in the show.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Get
so
that
exciting.
published.
I think there's rarely a writer that says, no, I'm only writing one. I think as much as we cry about it during the process, we're always ready for the next one.
Well, remember, I kept splitting it and splitting it and splitting. There's all that stuff I need to do something with.
Yeah,
Research.
of course. Was there ever a story that you were writing and you found yourself laughing or crying kind of along with you and your brother? Did you ever find yourself really so back in that moment while you were writing it?
Yeah, it's the one where it's my brother's birthday and to celebrate it, some of his friends got a van. They wanted a limo, but they couldn't get one. So they got a van and they invited Greg and I to go with them. And they were going bar hopping to gay bars in Hollywood. And there's a whole story in there, and it still makes me laugh because one of Chuck's good friends was protecting Greg by saying that Greg was his lover. And when the bartender figured out that I was his wife, she looked at them and looked at me, and he says, "You're the most understanding wife I've ever met." And that still makes me laugh. So
I think you have some really great stories in there too. Everyone should just go out and buy the book because I love Deborah's just attitude towards life, right? It's contagious, the joy that she has. There are a few people that need to leave, so I think that we should do the ebook giveaway. You ready?
Use all the names anyway. Can you still use the ones that?
Yes,
okay, because I know them, so we'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the ebook. Okay.
Look, it's finally working. It always does this. It stops, and then you go, "Ooh." Frank is gonna get an ebook.
Yay, Frank. I'll have to read it while he's riding his horse.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
I'll get you the Audible, Frank, when I'm done
Don't
with
fall
it.
off, please.
No, you can listen to it.
Oh, it's a lot more fun to read it while I'm trying to ride. No, it's a lot better than the audio.
My dad used to read while he was driving, so.
Oh my goodness. You guys have such good balance, all you horse people. Does anyone have a last question for Deborah? Should I ask the last questions? If you guys have a comment or a question, you can feel free. Deborah, last question. If your brother could read this book, what do you think he would say?
Okay, so what he was famous for, and I can do it too, is to lift one brow, right? And he was really good at it. And he has this he has this look about him. And I think he would lift one brow and lift one side of his mouth into a smile, and then he wouldn't have to say anything.
That's so pretty. I love that. That's so wonderful. Can we all just give Deborah one more round of applause? If you guys want to unmute and say congratulations, you can certainly do that.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Can't wait till Friday.
Mhm.
Exciting. Excitement.
Oh,
I love you, Deborah.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I found the book just amazing, 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 and it was so emotional for me.
And she's really in it a lot. Oh, thank you, Shay.
That's so wonderful. When people are in it and they still love you.
Oh yeah, and just like you said, Deborah's bigger, just bigger than life, and just so amazing and energizing. For me, I don't know. It's like Deborah's an Aquarius and I'm a Scorpio, so I'm a water sign, but she's the water bearer. And every time I would spend time with Deborah, it seems like a long time ago, but it was just so energizing. And the book, same thing. It's like I'm not even a reader. I don't even know how to do this. Hey, this is virtual. I am not in front of the heart.
Oh gosh, you're doing so good, Shay.
I'm at Lowe's. I'm in front of the cabinets. I don't know if you saw that later. I've been sitting here trying to mess with everything this entire time just to send a message or know what to do. But
you did great.
I just thank you so much. And this book is just, it's just like again, it's a renewal of and it makes me want to write because I had an amazing life and story and still do. But boy, I can barely read. But anyway, good for all you girls. And this is just such a joyous occasion. I couldn't be happier. Thank you.
Thank you,
for
Shay.
including me.
And I wanted to call out Barb Bunting. She was my neighbor for the 30 years that I've been here after the book closes. And she and the Mary Marthas really helped support me while I was going through the loss of Chuck and the rest of my family. So thanks for coming, Barb. I really appreciate it.
You have so many good
This was a pleasure, Deborah. This was a great pleasure for me to be here today.
Thanks. It means a lot that you were here. I really appreciate it, Ruth Ann. You were such a part of my journey writing.
You're part of my journey, period.
Ditto. Yeah, we'll talk about the art in another Zoom. I'll write a book about that too.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, let's give away the package of the bag and the notebook and the door hanger and the bookmark.
All right, ready?
Judy, my critique partner. Wow, that's great, Judy.
I think it's so cool. And you didn't show what you made for your table next week.
I haven't shown that.
That's so cool.
You'll have to look at the videos for that. I did a table runner inspired by my great friend, Joan Fernandez, who published her book earlier this year, Saving Vincent. So about Vincent van Gogh, actually about sister-in-law, Jo van Gogh, and about Vincent's art. So she's really helped me along this whole journey from writing. We've been really parallel on that.
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without you. It's really been fun, and it makes me feel so happy to be here today. You've earned it. You've earned it, and then some.
I'm enjoying every little bit of it.
So everyone can order the print book today, correct, Deborah? And you're gonna
No, you know, they can order it. It's fine. I
order.
thought they could get it, but it's up for order now for
Right.
pre-order. The book in print and in ebook form.
And then I'm going to convince Deborah to do an audiobook.
Oh, no convincing. I'm ready to do it.
We already did, really.
I got the deal, the whole package to do it. That's why I have the microphone.
Yes.
So, and everybody come next week. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody and my great team, Christy and Cassie, and helping to put this whole event on. I couldn't do it without you guys. So, yeah.
Well, thank you guys all for coming, and we want to just congratulate you, Deborah, because again, I cannot reiterate enough like how much work it is to write a memoir, how just you have to bare your whole soul just to put it out there and have other people read it. I think you've done a beautiful job. You're such an example of the hard work that goes into it and the perseverance, and I'm just so excited for you today. It's so lovely.
I want to thank you, Kat, because you are a fabulous host and you offered to do this for me and you've done a fabulous job doing it. And you guys all need to listen in on her podcast, Pencils and Lipstick. And you'll hear her talk to all kinds of different people, but mostly authors. And
including Deborah. Wait, you're this way. Well, thank you all so much for coming. If you're in the States, have a wonderful long weekend. If you're local, definitely go see Deborah's thing next week. And congratulations again, Deborah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Kat, Deborah. Thank you for doing this. It's so good.
Oh,
wish I could be there.